Okay. Hey, Christina, I am glad that you looked again, too, to make sure that your assignment got posted. So it looks like when you were making your contact sheet, your f-setting, your f-stop, your aperture settings got cut off. So I don't know what you shot. You say that you changed your aperture setting from image to image, but I can't exactly see that. But then there's something else that's strange that's going on, is your ISO is changing from image to image. See, from here we go to 32, 28, 25, 20. Well, okay, so 3200, 2800, 2500, 2000, 22, 18, you know. So it looks like what you actually did was you set your camera to aperture priority or some kind of program exposure mode. And then the camera was just readjusting some other setting to compensate for the fact that you were changing your aperture, and it chose to change your ISO. And so, to me, this feels very unwitting. It doesn't seem intentional. And if it was, let me know. And that wasn't really what we wanted you to do. We literally wanted you to change your exposure value. So we wanted you to have several different exposure choices. We wanted you to get the meter indicated exposure from your meter in incident or reflective mode. I don't remember what it says. Probably incident, because it's just going to be a little bit more accurate. Or in reflective, you would have needed to use a gray card. And you would have shot your composition like that, and then you would have shot it at half a stop more exposure, and then an additional half a stop more exposure. And then you would have shot it at half a stop less exposure than your meter indicated exposure value, and then an additional half a stop less. And we wanted you to use your aperture. And the reason we wanted you to use your aperture is that because in continuous lighting, the light isn't very bright. Even though it seems like it is, it's not actually very bright. And so you're sort of limited with shutter speeds. And so, you know, if you bracket, you will be bracketing with your aperture. That's what you're going to rely on for changing your exposure most of the time. That's why we wanted you to use your aperture, and we wanted you to be able to choose different exposure values. And we also wanted you to think about white balance. And that you did. You have several very different white balance choices here. And we read in the lecture and in the text that human beings respond a little bit more warmly, can I say warmly? Positively, to temperatures that are kind of lower on the Kelvin scale, so like 4500 and lower. Temperatures that are a little bit yellow or orangey. And so you've got some really strange choices. Like, so this actually feels nostalgic. You know, this one's a little bit warm. This one's a little bit on the cool side. You know, it's probably more in the 6000s. It's actually hot on the Kelvin scale, but aesthetically we refer to it as cool because it's blue, you know. This is extremely blue, like very, like weirdly blue. This feels very natural and warm and nostalgic, and so does this. So you have some really interesting choices there. And so we didn't really want you to bracket with your white balance. We just wanted you to bracket with your aperture setting. And with your white balance, we really wanted you to just kind of settle on something and do the whole shoot appropriately in that white balance. So there's that. Yes, there's that. Okay, I hope that helps, Christina. Let me know if it doesn't. Or, you know, we can just move on to the next week, because you get credit for doing it. Okay? Okay, thanks.